Well, here's been the secret to survival this year is my big sluice box flare. Put this together from an old street sign, and I had to put the brackets on the inside because those are shelf holders. That's just the way it worked out. Silicone in the cracks and rebar to hold the rigidity of it together. And I can blast through buckets at a time when the water's filling it up. I made it really deep and wide, but it's quite light, so I don't know, 7 inches or so. And boy, I was able to go through a lot of material, but it was a mixed blessing because after I did all that deposit, I was walking a lot of heavy buckets, and just recently I was getting into my car, and you know, if you drive a car, you always have to bend your knees to fall into it, and I just hurt my knee getting into my car the other day after all that mining. But I think the mining predisposed me to it. My leg muscles are getting bigger and my tendons were not being stretched. So I had to sell some silver just to keep this train going without going back out and hurting myself. And you know, as soon as I started favoring my left knee, my right knee started to hurt. So I just been stretching for a few days here at base camp. Show you what that was my secret to this year, but it's cost me in my knees. So we're going to have to switch up methods and just use, you know, other tricks. But now I know where I can go and use that guy and do a lot of dirt. So you win some, you lose some. So let's have a look here around base camp. I used to have a shed, a structure I was living in, but they got sick of looking at me, I think, and who can blame them? So I'm down here on the property of a friend's, and he lets me stay here while I gold mine and fight for survival. This is one of his dogs. It looks a lot like Zeus, but he's not. Zeus is gone. But here we go. Got a tent I'm not using yet, but I will be as the heat comes in. It's going to heat up 30 degrees the next week. Actually, by Monday in a few days, it'll be hot. Here's my backpack gear. So look at how simply I got my life down to surviving in the wild. All we got in here is a sluice box and a pick and a couple little boards to keep my sluice box up, and then just a few like tweezers and little brushes and knives, crevicing tools. That's really all it takes. And then I added that big guy on this year, but there's a flare on the folding sluice. It's okay, but you can really run a lot more material with that big flare. So I've covered it before, but here's the electronics I use every day. A nice lithium ion battery, 50 amp, and you know, a little Bluetooth radio, speaker, chargers, and an inverter, pure sine wave, and then a little converter from the solar panels. And there's a charger from my other lithium batteries that charge good of my Bauer stuff, like my fan, vacuum, all very necessary. And since I got it all sprawled out here, you see there's coffee and broccoli and eggs, insect repellent, and 50% isopropanol. Those are all pretty much essentials. Some toppings for your food. And then for grooming, you gotta have some grooming gear so people don't look at you too weird. These are just some pieces, silverware. Potatoes are poor man's, but they're great to have around. Yeah, this is survival, baby, out here in the wild. Yeah, we got some more grub up here. Nothing special. Chips and salsa and some sausage. And we've been in the car, sleeping in the car for several months now. They kicked me out of my structure in the middle of winter, but that's all right. We made do. It was a tough winter too, because most of the rain came down when I was out here, and my car broke down. So Wasn't able to do any mining during that storm. Thank God my car broke down here though and not out at the mine. Yeah, shout out to Robert Ferguson's videos. I just am inspired by him. How he's getting by. He's doing getting YouTube income, but I'm not there. So I'm just inspired to give it a whirl. Show you guys how I'm living out here. I mean, I know it's not that exciting, but if you see a little edge that helps you survive, this thing's been great. I've been using this out there in the field to get fine dust gold and just recharge the battery. And there's my pump. This is the minimum pump you need. I think it's about a 1500, or maybe it's a 2000. It's basically the smallest you can get away with. I got a water flattener on here. It hooks right up to my folding sluice. Those are my boots for my feet. And look at all this gear I'm going over. And then here's it's good to have a really long line for your solar so that you can be in the shade and the solar can be in the sun. We got to move this one here. But that's another trick, giving you as much value as I can. And here's an update on the rock crushing. I hit a standstill. I went through a lot of it, most of it. We've got three crushed 5-gallon buckets down there, and there was a little bit of fine gold in there. It's sitting here somewhere, but it'd be really hard to see anyways. Got some potatoes here. They're not really growing yet, I don't know why. And we got orange trees, and then some scrapping materials. This is the lead that came out of the creek last year. Probably about 2 pounds of lead. This is this year's lead, not as much because I haven't been mining as much. We're getting our smelting going on here soon. Well, actually, just in the next wet season, so it'll be a few months. All on top of my mobile work cart. So 7 minutes, just telling you how I'm living out here. Here's some of the more interesting ore I have. You can see it glistening in the sun probably. And those are sulfides or tellurides or something. But I was able to get these rocks heat shocked. And now I just gotta keep busting them down. See this? These all got heat shocked. So now I'm going to take a sturdy bucket and put a steel plate in the bottom, and I'm going to throw them into it and work them down even further. Look at this one. It's like crimson red. Look at this coloration. It's pretty neat. It's got a quartz going through it. So that's what we got going on here with the rock crushing. This little rock crusher it kind of chokes on big chunks. So you need a jaw crusher. But the heat shock will have to do for now. The heat shock's probably good no matter what, because it's pretty cheap when it's rainy out. Big old chunk of mariposite here. Green. How green that is. I don't know if you can see how green that is or not. Look at that. I don't know. It's pretty green in real life. Piece of piping from my old monitor. Yeah, then we bury our waste and trip on these things that are in the ground all the time. So that's that, guys. 9 minutes, just showing you what I'm doing while I'm down. And we're just gonna take a few more days off because I don't want to hurt myself. But 2 years in of full-time mining, had to sell some silver intermittently, but what if I were to die and that silver just goes to some stranger? So that's what we got for you today, guys. Oh, I got some acorns here for the goats. Got a little garden here that's nothing's planted at the moment. Just want to go gold mining. So, and of course I got a metal detector and a winch, a hand winch. And that's pretty much how I live with those tools. I just go out there and extract little bits of gold. If you've seen any of my videos. So we're back up to 3 dogs. There's my main dog though. Sucks that he's black. It's gonna be like 100 degrees soon. So, boy, I'm gonna start recording a lot more, and I hope you bear with me and give me some support, because I don't know, I can't find any opportunities otherwise. So I appreciate you watching. Take care.